Here's a story that I saw on CNN today, and this story is dealing with a Louisiana TV reporter that was fired for responding to racist statements or comments on Facebook. And this a crazy story. She was a TV meteorologist in Louisiana. Her name is Rhonda Lee, and apparently she was fired for responding calmly to racist comments on her station's Facebook page. And here's one from October 1st.
On October 1st, a man named Emmett Besoku wrote, "The black lady that does the news is a very nice lady. The only thing is she needs to wear a wig or grow some more hair. I'm not sure if she is a cancer patient, but still it is not something myself that I think looks good on TV. What about letting someone, a male, have waist-long hair do the news? What about that?"
Wow.
Lee responded 5 days later, emphasis, mine. "Hello, Emmett. I am the black lady to which you are referring. My name is Rhonda Lee. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry you don't like my ethnic hair. And no, I don't have cancer. I am a non-smoking 5'3", 121 pound, 25 plus mile a week running, 37.5-year-old woman, and I'm in perfectly healthy physical condition. I am very proud of my African American ancestry, which includes my hair. For your edification, traditionally our hair doesn't grow downward, it grows upward. Many black women use strong straightening agents in order to achieve a more European grade of hair, and that is their choice. However, in my case, I don't find it necessary. I'm very proud of who I am and the standard of beauty I display. Women come in all shapes, sizes, nationalities, and levels of beauty, showing little girls that being comfortable in their skin and hair God gave me is my contribution to society. Little girls and boys, for that matter, need to see that what you look like isn't a reason not to achieve their goals. Conforming to one standard isn't what being American is about, and I hope you can embrace that. Thank you for your comment and have a great weekend, and thank you for watching."
Okay, and then here we go. About a month later, it says that another Facebook somebody on the her station's page uh, posted something expressing their frustration. And here's the next comment. That person's
Okay.
comment.
Not to start any trouble, because I think that the annual 3-minute smile is a great function. I love to see kids so happy. I am the only one that has noticed that this year all kids, let's say, are people of color. This is Channel 3, not KSLA, the Project Pride Network. That might as well be part of the BET channel. Did KTBS slip up on a news story and owe Sport's criminal mayor Cedric a favor? Seems like some racism going on to me, just saying.
Wow. And then this is her response to the response you just heard.
I'm not sure I understand your comment. This is Channel 3, not KSLA. What are you trying to say? The children are picked at random, so there goes your theory that they are selected for their color. I would like to think it doesn't matter who the child is. If you truly just want to see the kids happy, your message had a funny way of showing it. Happy holidays.
Okay.
Meteorologist Rhonda Lee.
Wow. And then here it says that Lee told Prince that she eventually asked her bosses to remove the second racist posting, but that they refused, and then admonished her for responding to viewer comments at all. Not long after that, Lee was fired. Fired! They told me, this is what she has to say, they told me the policy I violated isn't written down, but was mentioned in a newsroom meeting about a month and a half prior, a meeting I didn't attend, said Lee. So when I asked what rule did I break, there isn't anything to point to. Wow. I emailed KTBS station manager George, what does that say?
Serving.
Who responded with the following statement and a copy of an email
Serving.
claims Lee received back in August. As you can see, that email, an informal social media best practices policy, explains that employees are not to respond to viewer complaints on Facebook. If they do respond, they set her up. They set her ass up. If they do respond, the note continues, there is only one proper response, which is to direct the viewer to call an employee at the station whose job is fielding complaints.
Typically, this station does not.
This is the email.
Typically, this station does not comment on personal matters, but due to the publicity and interest about this issue, the station has included the following statement. On November 28, 2012, KTBS dismissed 2 employees for repeated violation of the station's written procedure. We can confirm that Rhonda Lee was one of the employees.
Wow.
Another employee was a white male reporter who was an 8-year veteran of the station. The policy they violated provided a specific procedure for responding to viewer comments on the official KTBS Facebook page. Included is an email that was sent to all new department employees informing them of this procedure. This procedure is based on advice from national experts and commonly used by the national broadcast and cable networks and local television stations across the country. Unfortunately, television personalities have long been subject to harsh criticism and negative viewer comments about their appearance and performance. If harsh viewer comments are posted on the station's official website, there's a specific procedure to follow. Ms. Rhonda Lee was let go for repeatedly violating that procedure and after being warned multiple times of the consequences of her if her behavior continued. Rhonda Lee was not dismissed for her appearance or defending her appearance. She was fired for continually to violate company policy.
Wow. Okay, and then it says that this guy, Richard Prince, notes that Lee filed a discrimination lawsuit against another former employer, Austin's KXAN, in May this year, claiming that, among other things, she was reportedly subjected to crude and insensitive remarks about her race. Later, KXAN fired Lee. At the time of KXAN suit, Lee was already at KTBS, where she ended up working for about 11 months before being fired a second time. There's no word yet on whether Lee plans on bringing a lawsuit in this latest case, but in the meantime, the question becomes this: at what point does the company's stay mum social media policy become injurious to an employee's sense of dignity? And if an employee does respond against its employee's wishes, should level reason responses like Lee's merit termination? Regardless, Lee's story seems to be further evidence that many companies still have no idea how to navigate the complexities of social media, despite obviously drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to the idea that social media is an integral part of success nowadays. The result in a company getting a Facebook page in order to facilitate community engagement while simultaneously hampering its employee from engaging even slightly with the community, especially their stripping all the social out of social media, and then firing employees who push back at all against their archaic policy. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. And then you have a bunch of opinions. You can read one of them?
She should have. This is from Ramsey woman. She should have taken it to the station and had the comments removed due the policy reasons or lobby to have such a policy put in place,
I think she did,
if not already there. By taking to the interweb on behalf of her company, she broke company policy and deserves to be fired. Plus, she just looks petty. No response is the best response in some cases.
Right, that's true.
All right. This is Mirichi. M. Ritchie, OMG, what the fuck is wrong with people? Love our newscast here in Canada. In fact, in fact watch other territory newscasts and have friends that are reporters. So much diversity, I love it. But these people questions those with colors. I mean, really, I can't even express how I feel. I'm just typing maddening shit because this is absolutely a retarded situation. I hope this woman can sue and destroy the news station, and better yet, destroy those two racist fucks posting their carrying questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. And then one more.
Magister, I live in bumfuck middle America for the past couple of years, and if anything has bothered me here, it's that the local station may cover too much via social media, and I wish more of it would find its way onto their website.
Wow. What's this one?
Upper middle something. The most racist thing in this entire article was when the network contrasted Rhonda Lee with the white male reporter who was also fired. See, guys, we didn't fire her because she's a black lady. Yeah.
I mean,
good point.
That's a good point. I mean, here's one other one. Was this the customer
or viewer is always right, even when he or she is a racist douche nozzle.
Right, and one more.
I lost a bit of respect for her with the photo above. How can a woman support an organization that harms women and has done nothing to curing cancer?
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, subject, but this is just beautiful woman. I admire the fact that she embraces her African American heritage, that she wears her hair natural, that she's trying to set an example for other women and little girls and children growing up. I think that in this world of social media, you got a lot of over the top comments constantly, that especially when you're in the public eye. But I think that you have to stay professional. I think you have to find, she works for that company. I doubt they had a policy. I think that they winged it. I know. I don't think that's their policy. I think that that's something that kind of, because social media is something that's so new, I think that's something that kind of birthed itself in the midst of what was going on, and then she paid the price for it. She's like the scapegoat for it. I think they kind of probably had it going before. They got her. But she is fighting a good fight, because she's fighting a fight in these different media outlets, these different channel stations that she's working for, to make the point that she's good enough as she is. She's beautiful as she, and she's competent enough, and she's not just competent, but she's qualified enough to do the job without having to change her image to look more like something other than exactly who she is. And I think that she's fighting a more important fight than what somebody's insensitive comment is. I think the bigger picture is that there's so much pressure in the workplace for African American women to change their image to fit into the work environment, because people feel, if we're in our natural state as African Americans or as blacks, Nubians, whatever we call ourselves, right? People are intimidated for whatever reason. Like, you can't wear twists on a newscast. You won't see that too often, because there's an intimidation factor there. If you don't fit into the stereotypic image of what a newscaster is, there's even a stereotypic image of what a black or African American newscaster is, then they don't want you. And then she basically was being harassed in that realm in her first job, and then was fired after a lawsuit because people were harassing her. Then goes to another job and has to deal with in the social media, people making comments, and the company she worked for should have stepped up and had her back. And even in what she did, she never crossed the line in correcting the people. They should have stepped up and had her back, even if they admonished her and told her, look, well, that's not our policy. You submit what you want to say to us, and we'll have your back, and we'll handle it. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy to delete an insensitive comment about one of your news reporters. It's easy to do. You follow what I'm saying?
I follow.
What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I just funny. I mean, you kind of hit the subject. It's just funny how when African American men or women who, I mean, especially when you're in the media, how it's okay to look like everybody but yourself.
Right.
It's like you have to blend in. You have to roll with the punches. You have to get in where you fit. And you know,
Right.
she
You know something that's funny?
bucked it.
Right. And you know something that's funny? She's breaking down barriers with what she's doing, even if she's having, it's like almost like Rosa Parks. You might have to pay the price for what you're doing, but you're fighting a good fight. And there was also another story about a woman, a newscaster. Remember we saw that story?
Yeah,
where
her and her daughter
made the decision to go natural.
Right.
And she explained why, and the news station had her back and embraced what she was doing. And she was saying, I guess because
they let her do basically a story on it because her daughter was being picked on at school.
Right.
Because her daughter hair was natural.
Right.
And then the way the story went, that her daughter asked her mom, why am I not pretty? Why are all the kids picking on me because of my hair?
Because her hair was natural.
Because her hair was natural. And then her mom made the decision to cut her hair and grow natural.
After the realization
that the kids were picking on her daughter. And so they kind of did the story on it. It was a very good story.
It was a good story.
Very.
And that news channel had her back in that story. But you're seeing more and more African American newscasters wearing their hair natural in those settings.
I got a question though. Would it be a different situation if this newscaster did have cancer? You know,
Right.
would they have been so, I mean, it's like if she had cancer, then would it have been okay?
Let me say something to you. The insensitive comment that guy made, and it's right here.
Right.
This comment was completely insensitive. I think it was meant to. He won. And this guy won because she's fired. And the station should be ashamed of itself. You understand what I'm saying? For not defending her against scumbags like this. This guy has a warped view of our melting pot called America, and of what beauty is. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, and the more and more African Americans have to accept the fact that our beauty is in our natural state. But whatever state someone is in, it's not a need for insensitive commenting. We just did a story. We just covered a story on our last video vlog about the Brazilian what's it called? The Brazilian blowout, and how they had the formaldehyde
in it,
and how it's a
carcinogenic, cancer creating chemical.
And how all of the hair salons all over the country are using it, and how the Congress wrote a letter to the FDA saying that they're not moving fast enough to do something about this dangerous hair care product that is on the market that is not just damaging the hair of African Americans and others, white, black, green, purple, yellow, all over the country, but that is actually cancer causing. It's causing nausea, headaches, vomiting, skin rashes, but look, all of this because of people feeling pressured by the media to change their image. Then when you decide not to change your image and you went to school, you got the degrees, you're on the job, now you have to be harassed because this is what you have to go, this is what a lot of these black women have to go through because of standing up for who and what they really are. You know what I'm saying? Chinese are not asked to change their image when they come to this country. They're not. They don't have to change their
They
hair.
respect their cultures.
Their culture is respected. Italian American culture is respected. German American culture is respected. Mexican culture is respected.
Dutch, Portuguese.
But African culture somehow is an intimidation factor when we decide to follow all the rules as far as, social, what socially is right or wrong, but draw a line when it comes to we're not going to change who we are to fit into society. We'll blend into the melting pot, but we won't lose who we are to do it. People will just have to accept it. And like I said, she's fighting a good fight. Follow us as That World on Twitter, y'all.
Peace.